and welcome to Collabsolutely, the podcast for people who know business is better together. You're here with Jacquie, Hannan, and Sarah Duncan. We're business besties, founders, and your new favourite hype squad.
Hello. Yes, we're also the co-founders of Collabsolutely.com, and we're all about supporting entrepreneurs with money, marketing and mindset. We sure are. I'm Jacquie, and I've got over 20 years experience in finance, tax, accounting, and wealth creation.
Oh, and I'm Sarah, and I've spent more than 20 years in the digital marketing, social media, and traditional media space.
Yes, we started when we were 10.
Yes, we're babies.
We were babies when we started. And we're here to chat all things business with our personal little take.
Oh,
yeah.
Sounds fancy.
Yes.
So coming up on today's show, we have our Love It or Leave It segment where we share one thing in business we're absolutely loving right now or something that we'd happily leave behind forever.
This is my favourite segment. You know that, Sarah. I love this one because I always like the opportunity to maybe battle off with you.
Fight.
I'm disappointed when we
are from Logan. So so true. Opportunity to get into
take Logan out of the girl. All right. Oh, so funnily enough, jokes aside, Sarah.
Jokes aside.
Serious topic today. Serious businesses posting unserious content, unprofessional or a marketing genius.
Oh, I'm a sucker for a silly social media.
Sometimes I'm like, Sarah,
this is dumb.
Stop it. Please.
You know what? I think of some of the companies on social media that are doing a good job. Shout outs to Queensland Health,
yes,
CSIRO.
I love seeing the Queensland Police. I always do a double take.
So
I'm like, is this really from Queensland Police? Because they're so hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it brings really important topics up for discussion that probably are a little bit taboo, a little bit hard to talk about, but they make it so approachable and so funny that I think it absolutely is warranted for a really serious business to get a bit playful and a bit silly on the socials.
Yeah, I love it. And it's memorable as well.
Yeah.
I think it builds so much trust.
Yeah.
The minute that they had, I think another one was, I'm going to misquote it. I'm going to call it an airline. That way I'm not at risk of misquoting. And they have very funny posts. They have their intern. For those who are listening, play along and let us know which airline it is if you want to. But they've got their intern. He comes and he posts things that he shouldn't do and puts down specials that he shouldn't do. And everyone laughs and jokes along. And it's an airline that sometimes can get a bit of a bad rap. But it really softens things because no one wants to pick on the poor intern.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's a genius marketing strategy.
Exactly. A lot of these companies that are doing it are have a lot of things riding on what their business is. It's health, it's travel, another one. People get angry and upset and there's lots of controversy in these areas. If you can soften that communication and that connection with people and you make it really approachable, a bit funny, then it makes it just a lot more like you can relate to them a little bit more, you know?
Yeah. And they ask, like you said, they're very serious topics, but is it okay? Is it unprofessional to be joking, do you think?
I think if it makes a topic more palatable and more talked about, especially, Queensland Health, they'd talk about, serious health issues that people are tagging their friends in. Like, how funny is this thing? Read the comments or read the, and it's about breast cancer, for example.
Yeah.
It could be one of them. It is turning it into a conversation starter. How funny is this? But also check your boobies.
Yeah.
Get onto it.
For the prompt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes it that much, more engaged with.
And yeah, I think when you're jumping onto social media, you don't want the serious stuff. You want to be entertained. You've had a hard day at work and you've, I don't know, trouble with the kids or I don't know, whatever else is going on in your life. And it's really nice to be entertained. And I think that if you don't do that, I think you're at risk of not getting attention. I think it almost goes too far to say if you're not incorporating the humour, the comedy, that you're at risk of being irrelevant or, again, not getting the attention.
And people are not going to follow you in the first place. They're not going to get the message. They're not going to filter through to whatever that, call to action is, which in that case might be, check your boobs, talk to your friend, whatever it might be. That message is not even going to land if you're not entertaining in some way your community or your hoped for community. Yeah. So if you're not even, the reason why people are on social media all of the time is to be entertained. So there has to be an element of entertainment to get that message across.
I completely and utterly agree. So coming back to the question then, how are you feeling? Like, love it or leave it?
I'm a big fan. Like, if we could inject, I would love to do just funny stuff on our social, like just humour.
I think you well and truly lean into. Sometimes people are like, I love how you don't care what anyone thinks clearly based on what you're posting online.
It's so much fun, and it just gives people an in to connect with you, to actually watch what you're doing, find out more about you, understand who you are. Like, tick.
Yes.
Maybe, unserious content every day of the week.
Yeah, I love it. I think you bring out the funny in me. I think when I'm with you, I can be a bit more carefree. I mean, I'm a funny person. There's no two ways about that.
Oh, she's hilarious.
Sure. But I think what you've really shown me is that you can incorporate humour. You can incorporate the unseriousness in the seriousness.
Yeah, totally.
Because I know for me, being in finance, dealing with people's numbers, I feel like I've lived serious business sort of stuff. But it's boring.
But it's
a long day. It's a long day without the laughter.
And I think people would argue that, business is not exactly the most interesting topic in the world, but you can make it really relatable and funny and like lighthearted. Obviously, we still deal with topics that are serious, and a lot of what we do, there are serious implications that are related.
Yes.
But we don't have to live in that serious place, especially where with our social media, the intention is to build awareness. We're just trying to get eyeballs. We're trying to get people to understand who we are, what we do.
Yeah.
If we're just saying, this is how you work with us, this is what we do.
Yeah.
How boring. Like, no one's going to engage.
Sarah, I'm just worried that you're gaslighting people, though, because I'm just thinking about the dating scene where you're all fun. Like this. I'm always happy. Always happy. All right, here's the contract. You decide to here and here.
And it's, to be honest, it does get like that sometimes where we are so fun on the pod. We're so fun. We're so fun.
The level of fun is unbelievable.
On social media and even, on the podcast.
Yes.
But sometimes we have to have really challenging conversations.
We do. Yeah, we have serious conversations, which is always sometimes hard. We have to try to start to transition ourselves like, all right, now here's the really
serious part now.
But I think it also does, when we do have the serious conversations, I think in a way it builds more trust when you do get a little bit serious, because people are like, oh, hold on.
It's not just all.
Yeah. But also I think they pay attention as well, because they're like, oh, you're not normally like this.
Hold on a second.
Must be really important.
Yeah, I saw you dancing in a video yesterday.
I'm confused. Yeah, I think it's, I think it's essential. Like,
it is.
I don't even know if I'm listening to anyone who doesn't incorporate humour.
A bit of humour. There has to be a little bit.
Life's too short to not be laughing our way through it.
And that's why people are on social media in the first place.
Yeah,
they're looking for escape. They're looking to be entertained.
Yes.
They want to have a laugh.
I'd love to challenge those listening at the moment. How could you, if you're not already, you might already be doing it. If you do, write in and let us know what you're already doing. I want to hear more about it. But if you're not already, how can you incorporate humour? I know one of the wonderful ladies in our community puts up a little joke.
Yeah,
I can never understand or get, but often have to Google Ask Chatty G what the
read the comments.
Read the comments. Oh, yeah, I got that. But I think that's fun. And I think it's well received, I think, by her community. But yeah, I'd love to see if people have ways and a little think about how they can incorporate humour into what they're already doing.
Or if there's anyone in an industry that they think, I could not inject some humour, it just wouldn't be possible. Like, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. It's very serious businesses.
Yeah, let us know. We can brainstorm for you or with you. Yeah, that would be great.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Oh, me too.
Love it. All right. So, love it or leave it. So what are we
well, I think we're loving it.
I think we've got to love it.
Otherwise, our social media plan is going to change drastically.
Yeah, so the whole business model goes out the door. You've got to incorporate humour and serious business posting unserious content. I love that. I love that they're doing it. I don't think it's unprofessional at all. I think it's marketing genius.
Marketing genius.
Whenever I see it, it really grabs my attention. You're talking about boobies now today because Queensland Health. So
do a check. All right. Now we're going to jump into hot Biz Takes, where we dive a little deeper into one aspect of business in the areas of money, marketing, and mindset.
Sure are. And this one here, this is critical. We have this wonderful method that we're trademarking, but I'm going to mention it anyway.
Who knows? Nobody episode will come.
Yeah, who knows? I may or may not include it later. Understanding your unfair advantage. And that's a critical component of what we call our messy to money method, where we take businesses, small business owners or entrepreneurs from the messy, the chaos, into making money. And one of the key points, this is something that you taught me, Sarah, is I want to thank you for this one. It's all thanks to you.
Finally, recognition.
But understanding your unfair advantage, I eventually got to the topic, but that's it, people. Understanding your unfair advantage. Sometimes people can call it USP. I used to call it unique service proposition.
Yeah.
That was a bit boring for me. I like to call it unfair advantage because unfair advantage is different to the USP. It's not the same. They're different.
Yeah.
And
tell us, Jacquie, tell us how they're different.
I will try to tell you how it's different. But the unique selling proposition, I think the difference where unfair advantage is it incorporates who you uniquely are. That's it's unique selling propositions like, oh, we sell at the lowest price. It's really boring. Yeah. It's really singular faceted. I don't know if that's the terminology, but it is now. Whereas unfair advantage actually turns that into, but what about me specifically?
Yeah, it incorporates all areas of you. So your story is part of your unfair advantage.
Yes.
Your experiences as a person, that is all part of it. Not necessarily that you can create something really quickly and you've got however many years of experience, but also what got you there. What is your actual story? And we talk a lot about owning a segment and making sure that whatever sort of industry you're in, there's something that you can own that is really hard to copy. And if you don't know what your unfair advantage is, it's really hard to be able to determine what segment of the market that you own individually.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And often that comes down to things that are not replicable because your experience, your life story, different aspects of, you know, how your career, what your business is involved with, that is all tied into understanding your unfair advantage. It's not just, I do this really well. I do this really well because of X, Y, Z and all these other factors as well. That's often not incorporated in your USP.
I believe, don't quote me, but please quote me. 4 out of 5 businesses. So if I quickly do the numbers, 80%. Thank you.
That's why you're the numbers girl.
The numbers girl. Thank you, everyone. Kids, you listening to that? This could be you one day.
Fan mail yourself. That you've directed to.
So 80% or also converted to 4 out of 5. People, businesses rather, don't actually know what their unfair advantage is. And given that, in our method, it's actually critical.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of businesses are struggling, don't you think?
Absolutely. And this is where we start our method, really. We talk a lot about, you know, identifying who your audience is and your avatar. But if you don't know what makes you amazing and why people should go to you before anyone else, then how are you going to market that? How are you going to message that?
Well, because that's the thing that you amplify, isn't it? Because that's what, in this world, in the saturation of all different businesses and everyone trying to buy everybody's attention, buy from people's attention, if you don't stand out, then what? Then what?
You're going to blend in.
You could be the best in the world. If no one knows you exist, then you're not going to make a single sale. So leaning into what makes you brilliant, what is your unfair advantage is going to be the thing that's going to amplify you and take you to the next level. And I think to lean into that is critical in my opinion.
It's so important with your marketing too, because as much as we want to think, oh, you know, people know us, people recognize us, people will miss us if we leave. 77% of brands could disappear and no one would notice.
That's crazy.
No one would notice. Crazy. If you didn't post on your Instagram or on your website or you just went a little bit quiet, how many people do you think would realistically reach out and say, hey, are you still,
where are you?
What's going on? Are you still in? They wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
So if we're not leaning into our personal brands, our brand as a whole, really leaning on our, you know, our unfair advantage and being fronted and center in a market and owning that segment, that will give you more of an opportunity to be memorable. And also people are going to be like, oh, they own that segment. That segment's gone now.
Yeah,
They're owning that. So if you're not there, people will notice. It's going to be much more likely that they will.
Yeah, I think it's critical. Like one of the elements of our unfair advantage is that we've known each other for over, is it 30 years? I think it's hard to
500
before we were born.
Yes.
I don't know how the maths is mathing, but
that's not mathing.
Over 30 years, we happen to be childhood besties. In fact,
we've got a photo.
Hello. We've got a photo because zoom on that one, thank you. Because part of our unfair advantage that we somehow jagged is that we had the foresight to befriend.
We've been planning this since we were 10.
We have, in complementing skills and expertise in areas. And I think that's something that we very much lean into. And we know that it's something that makes us uniquely us and is our unfair advantage to have the level of communication, relationship, ability to work with each other, but we do complement each other as well. Different skill set, which is brilliant. And it leads to our unfair advantage, and we lean into it.
We lean into that story because that's not a story that any other business can easily replicate. You know, what other, business is going to lean into their 30-year friendship and use that as part of their personal branding?
Yeah.
When, you can't fabricate that sort of stuff.
No, we did not make that up. We definitely didn't Photoshop that.
I know AI is really powerful now, but that's something that you can't really fabricate.
Yes.
So if there is something about you that is unique and different or special or just exciting and fun, lean into that. Tell people.
Well, I want to explore that a little bit further and hear from you, Sto, because this is your domain, right? Yeah. Storytelling, really getting to the heart of it. And I've seen you work your absolute genius with the businesses that we work with, to the point that I'm often in tears because you honestly, because you get to the heart, because it's so terrible. I think this is, how do I break it to it? I don't know how to have the conversation. But I'm just thinking of a press release that you put together recently for someone within our community, and to the point that the person that, yes, it was their words, you helped to put it together, but you helped to get to the heart of the unfair advantage and then articulate it. And I don't think that's easy to do. I think there's a science to that. There's an art to that. And you've got that. You've got that gift. You've got that gift. But when you can do that, when you get to the heart of your unfair advantage, when you get to the heart of your messaging, who your audience is, which is all part of our messy to money method, when you get those things nailed, it completely changes. And you used to go on about that. Shut up. Oh, God, it's not in a spreadsheet. I don't want to hear about it. If it doesn't have a decimal point, get it out. So commas and dollar signs, forget about it. And you hopped on and on and on. I thought, here she goes.
And now we're doing an episode on
it. Well, because I jumped on the bandwagon. I'm not scared to say that I wouldn't say wrong. Wrong's probably not the way
harsh
to put it. But it was something you kept going on. And then I saw it for ourselves. And I saw what happened when I saw it for the people within our community, the businesses that we work with, and I saw it for ourselves when we got very clear on our unfair advantage, who our target audience is, our ideal customer, avatar, as you like to call them. I think of blue aliens when you say that, but the avatar. Those components that are absolutely critical. Yes. And I think a lot of people think it's fluff, but it's not fluff.
It's not fluff.
It's real. From a numbers girl, you'll probably never hear me boast about anything other than numbers. Facts, black and white. Yeah. But to me, that's become black and white. Yeah. I think it's a fact. It's become really tangible, and I can see the difference it makes when you get that messaging right and when you're nailing your unfair advantage.
And I think too many businesses go straight to the, I want to create a product. Yeah. Or I want to build something.
Yes.
But then don't sit and think about, okay, who am I building it for?
Yeah.
Is that part of my existing community? Like, how's that all going to work out? And that business owner that you spoke of regarding the press release, once we injected that into their socials as well, we posted a post recently that injected that storytelling. It is their most engaged with posts. Like, people are so
that's why I'm a convert, Sarah. It converted me because I see the magic that creates what happens there, that people resonated with that because you were able to harness the unfair advantage and get the messaging right.
Yeah.
And it's what connects with people. And I think it's well and good to, like you said, to focus on the product, to focus on the margins, how much you should sell it for.
And you do need to do that.
You do need that.
Just a little bit further along.
Yes, because if you don't get that basic stuff right there, then you can't even get to the point of selling to people because you can't attract anyone. You don't have an audience because you're not connecting with them.
The first thing that we do, really. So if you're not sure about what your unfair advantage is, reach out to us and we can help you with that process because it's so important.
So
it's
critical.
A game changer.
So critical. And if you were to maybe give some tips, if someone's sitting there today going, I don't know what my unfair advantage is, what's some ways to help to think about what that could be?
Think about your overall story. You might not see how it connects to your business, but I guarantee you in some level it will. So think about, how you grew up, write down your story and then you can begin to cherry pick the elements that relate to what you're doing now because we want to carve out that segmentation that only you can fill. And if you're not looking at your personal story and how that can relate to your business, you're not going to be able to connect those dots at all. So really sit down, think about, okay, what have I experienced? What are the different things that I've done that relate back to what I do as a business and incorporate that element of storytelling in your socials, on your website. People want to connect with you as a person and people buy from people, not faceless businesses. So,
100%. I think I had, when Stephen Bartlett came out to Australia, I remember going and seeing him. He's written a book. I'm listening to that as well and read it. And he talks about skill stacking and he talks about, I think it's part of that unfair advantage where I know for me as an example, we're developing apps and we're creating platforms and technology and we're doing software engineering, yet I'm an accountant. But when I would say I was 14 years old, I remember sitting there coding my own website, Blink 182, thank you very much. It was back in the dial-up days, so it took about 30 years to load one image and, the line by line would appear and so I had to reduce.
That's why we're so patient.
That's why we're so patient.
God, what we've had to do.
And, and so at that very moment I was coding, I was, doing my HTML and CSS and other things like that. And, I've dabbled a bit in pieces, but progressively adding that with the finance. And now we're creating our own platform, our own technology. And it's those things, those dots that you might not think are anything, but you connect them along the way. And that gives you a unique position that other people won't have.
They won't have. And, or at least they're not communicating that they have it.
Yeah, correct.
So jump on board. Get onto it.
Let everyone know.
Yeah, don't be nervous or shy about sharing your personal story.
Yeah.
Get out there and tell people. People want to know it.
That's the thing that's going to cut through in a very noisy world. That's going to be the thing that's going to help you cut through.
Exactly.
Your unfair advantage. Lean into it. Yeah, 100%.
Get on it. Sit down. Take some time to actually investigate what your unique selling proposition / understanding your unfair advantage is, because it's going to absolutely just be a game changer.
Yeah, love that. Good tip. Love it.
Yay. All right, our last segment is Send Help, where our community asks us a question and we share our coaching live.
Certainly do. Let's have a look at today's question. Oh, I wonder who wrote this one in. I wonder who sent this one is. I love it. Okay, the people who follow and engage the most on my business account are complete strangers. It's really disheartening when friends and family don't engage, even though they always tell me how much I keep popping up in their feed. How can I get them to engage?
Ooh, well,
was this from me? Was this is
anonymous?
My friend posted this one.
my business partner.
My business partner. Oh, this is one.
This is a good, and I see so much content about this on social media about people who are worried and feel a bit sad that they're putting all of their love and effort into their business and their social media platforms, and then the people that are closest to them are not engaging, and the people that are engaging are complete strangers. And it does feel a little bit like, oh, why didn't you?
They're jealous. They're jealous for sure.
They're jealous. But I would say, are they part of your customer profile? It doesn't matter.
That's the problem. Because I think I get a little bit upset when my husband doesn't. Well, I used to. Now I've come to terms with it after lots of counselling. But to be fair, he's not our audience.
He's not our audience.
He's not our audience. And so for him, he's like, I don't get what you're posting. I don't get it. It doesn't resonate with me.
It sucks.
It's and I think that's the problem sometimes. Like if you're, if the part of your target market, maybe listen. Maybe listen to that. But do you think there's also, so I think there's that component.
Yeah.
But I wonder also if there is a dynamic that sometimes friends, family, do you think there's... Well, I don't know. Can I say jealous? I don't want to go straight there. But do you think there could be something?
Possibly.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I like to see the best in people. But,
but not in this situation.
Except for this one.
I think there probably is an element of, I don't know if jealousy
is not the word.
Yeah.
Quite it.
But maybe it's like, I don't want to let them know that I'm engaging or something like that.
To be honest, I hear it often. From like a friend of a friend or my husband, such and such saw your thing and has been listening to your podcast.
Yes. And I've never...
Why did they tell me?
I know.
Yes.
I've heard this
You do it all the time. Oh, I see you all the time.
I see you everywhere. Yes. You come up in their feed like all the time.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, well,
I don't see people tell. Yes. We're heavy engagers.
So
we're like, I'm watching. I'm liking.
I feel like anything that someone posted, it's to me personally.
Yeah, 100%.
So I feel like I want to engage with other
you're one of those people on the Facebook wall where you don't realize that everybody else can see what you're posting.
No, but I am the kind of person who in a Instagram story will reply to everything.
You know what? I do that. I'm like, is this harassment? I'm like, I've just liked every single one of the 10 posts you've put up today.
Exactly. Yes. I was the same. But there is a trend on Instagram in particular. I don't know about other platforms like TikTok, but on Instagram in particular, engagement is way down. Like there's an element of like cringe almost about engaging with content.
Well, I think it started with, I think they've removed this now.
Yeah.
But I know I was hesitant. Oh, no, it is still there. I'm like thinking about the little hearts that I see pop up. But when you're interacting with things, I can see what Sarah likes.
I know.
And I know you've shared a story in the past of where you like someone, had someone from work
comment that what I was
interacted with.
So since then, unless it's friend stuff, even to this day, like I don't interact with memes or things that I find funny, or that could be like personal insight because I know.
Don't get to know me, thank you.
Don't get to know me, surface level only, please. Because I don't want people to know like what I find funny or what resonates with me because I know other people can see it.
I know if it's like something personable, like, I don't know, relationship issues. Like, and then you stop and pause and go, oh, who can see what they're going to see inside my marriage or parenting issues or.
Well, because that's how the content is being fed to us now. So if someone we know likes something, it's more likely to appear in our own feed.
Okay.
And so something popped up in my account that I wouldn't normally engage with. And then I could see that someone else had liked it. Yes. And it was something that I was like, I'm not sure if that person wants to know that I know.
No wonder why friends and family aren't engaged. Well, I think, because then I wonder, I don't know if it's personal.
Yeah.
I think there is a general, from what you're saying, I think there's a general change and trend where people are more reluctant to engage because
it's openly available.
Yeah, it's like we all used to comment, for those who can remember, when you could write on people's wall on Facebook, but then everyone realised that the whole world could see, and and I think it moved to, and I think we're still doing this, that you send, instead what you do is you share it, and then you'll put a little
I'll
comment
share it to a friend or something privately. So that is also where the trend is going to private messaging.
Yeah.
And that's why Instagram, for example, has opened up these, messaging sort of cohort groups where you can have these private conversations because that's where the trend is moving towards, those private communities, not necessarily the public-facing community.
Yes.
Because people don't necessarily want other people to know
what they're engaging with.
Like the other day, it was on Facebook. Someone had commented in a group that obviously wasn't private, but it was a very private topic.
Oh, no. Okay.
And it came up in my feed that this person had responded. And like that, that keeps me up at night.
Yes.
Like, how scary.
That's a fear.
So I feel like there is this, I feel like if the likes of Facebook and Instagram said, okay, we're going to keep your likes and shares private now, I think people would be much more likely to engage openly.
Yeah, that's interesting because obviously, or maybe not so obviously, but the number of likes was a thing, right?
Yeah.
It used to be like, oh, I got X number of likes. Oh, 1,000 people, many people have liked it. But I don't know if do you think people are still rating things based on likes or reactions? Like it is a metric, but I don't know if it's a leading metric.
I don't know if it's the leading metric anymore, because there are even people now who jump online and say, look, I've got 400,000 followers and I don't have engagement anymore. People are not engaging with my content the way that they would, a couple of years ago. It's completely changed. So I feel like it is still a metric that people are concerned about and they just don't know how to get around it.
I think you just highlighted something really important that was, okay, we've got 400,000 followers, we've got this, we've got that. We get caught up in the metrics, but what are we even doing in the first place? What are we actually doing on social media? Is it to build up a community, build up connection? Is it to get sales?
Yeah.
Because those are the real metrics.
Yeah.
And so just coming back to this person, which could have been me possibly. He's written this in. A little close to home.
This could be.
But I can understand. I think I've been there before. I'm like, well, how come at one point in time? I get this. I feel for this person. But disheartening.
Oh, it does say Jacquie.
Yeah. I thought I remembered it. When the people aren't engaging, but you know what? As hard as that is, I think there's a couple of things at play. I think they might not be the right audience for you. And yes, you might have mum, your sister, your brother engaged for the sake of, so they genuinely support you.
Because
they have to. But realistically, are they even your audience, number one? Number two, the world's just changed in terms of interactivity and the way in which they show that they're engaged. So many times we're hearing that people are seeing our stuff, but we don't know.
We have no idea.
We have no idea unless they actually say, I see your stuff and this is how I feel about it. Yeah.
So if you do have a friend who has a business or who has a project or is doing something that is outside of their comfort zone and they're showing up, just like it.
Yes.
It goes a long way. It actually helps them.
Get behind support.
It helps their algorithm. It helps their channel. So
it's also encouraging as well. Because I know that when we get that, it gives you that boost. Because sometimes it can be a little bit hard to show up all the time. And if you're getting that encouragement, it really makes a difference.
So all of our stuff as well.
Yeah. And that's the main message of today. Thank you. Like, subscribe.
That's exactly everything.
Wonderful.
All right, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review. Don't forget to like everything we've ever posted. Follow us on Instagram and visit us on Collabsolutely.com.
Perfect. See you next time, guys.
Bye. This episode of Collabsolutely was brought to you by the Business Growth Network. Receive 10% off the Momentum membership when you use the coupon code Collabsolutely at checkout.